Hey, my name's Jeff, and I'm going to be doing a podcast on business net operating income, maybe more specifically, net operating income to your gross revenue. I think those give a good measure of how successful your business is or if there is a problem with your business. So, like any podcast or anybody trying to tell you some advice, you're going to want to know what my expertise is. I have zero expertise on doing podcasts, so that will be reflected in the podcast itself. It's probably not the best quality, but I go on a website and it shows me Costco ads, and there's a lady that will say, "I'm a single mom, and here's the 10 items I buy at Costco," as if all single moms should do what she's doing. Or a real estate agent would say, "I've been a real estate agent for 15 years, and here's the properties that I would buy." And don't get me started on real estate agents. But my background, I have an accounting degree from UC Santa Barbara. I am not a CPA. I never intended to be a CPA. For a time, I was looking at doing tax accounting, but that's extremely boring, hence the reason why nobody does their own taxes. But I have been doing venture capital, or at least involved in some venture capital, since I was in middle school. My dad was in venture capital, and he would bring home business plans of various companies, and I would read through them and give my opinion on them. And of course, when you're in middle school, your opinion's pretty bad about a business, but I learned a lot and did venture capital after college. I did some tax accounting, but went into venture capital and into investment banking. And one thing you learn from that is how to analyze a business, specifically its target demographic or its target customers, and whether or not that product can succeed and get sales to those customers. So coming from that background, I've worked in numerous industries for what would be considered micro businesses, gross revenue upwards of about 20 million, maybe higher, but in that range from, let's say, 10 million to 40 million of gross revenue, and worked in service industries, construction, agriculture, just about everything other than technology. So that's my background, and whether you think that background is useful or not, I'm only going to talk about industries where I have worked for a number of years and learned quite a bit about how to grow revenue and how to decrease costs. So with that, and you can apply some of these to different businesses, but I'm going to be very specific about specific industries in my recommendations. But again, some of these recommendations can be tweaked a bit to apply to a different business. So if you feel like your business is not achieving everything that you want it to, go ahead and listen to the podcast and see if some of my ideas are helpful.